Well, I guess we finally found the line that MSNBC and the executives at Comcast has to get fired. We've seen some, pretty bad stuff over there. And Matthew Dowd, analyst, who's supposedly, a voice of the right there on MSNBC, he, of course, rationalized the assassination of Charlie Kirk within less than an hour, I think. As Charlie was still fighting for life on the surgeon's table, Matthew Dowd basically said, he was asking for it. Mm-hmm. Hate speech brings out hateful actions. And what do you expect? Matthew Dowd has been sent packing from MSNBC. So, I don't know. Does this mean that maybe the media is starting to get it? David Bozell is the president of Media Research Center, and he joins us now. Hey, David, thank you for joining us.
Hey, Larry. Hey, Julie. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Should we be, somewhat encouraged that the executives at Comcast have finally said enough is enough?
I don't think so. In fact, as you mentioned, Matthew Dowd said those deplorable comments as Charlie was fighting for his life. And then he went on to apologize that day. I actually wanted to I was asked throughout the day, should Matthew Dowd be fired? And once he apologized, I think I would channel my inner Charlie. Charlie would have accepted the apology and forgiven him and moved on. I almost wish MSNBC had done the same, given Matthew Dowd an opportunity to remedy his comments on the air, on camera. But be that as it may, he was let go. I don't think the liberal media are going to change much of their stripes. The coverage on camera has been fairly tame. Martha Raddatz yesterday trying to, bait, Governor Cox into denouncing Donald Trump, and those sorts of things. That's on camera. Off camera, there is a lot of chatter, on Blue Sky, some of these other liberal networks, Washington Post reporter, basically saying the same thing that Matthew Dowd suggested, that Charlie had it coming, and these guys are going offline or online, but off camera to speak their truth, as it were. That they despise Charlie Kirk. They despise that he was successful. They despise that he had a following. And on a personal note, Charlie, I think I can speak confidently for nearly everyone in the conservative movement. I wish I had done everything Charlie did as well as Charlie did it. I wish I had started a conservative operation as well as Charlie did. I wish I could be as a prolific of a fundraiser as Charlie was. I wish I could debate as well as Charlie did. He had a talent stack, a skill stack that was one of one, and he will be sorely missed.
Well said.
The other thing that the media is doing is they're desperate to make the killer a right-wing lunatic rather than what he clearly was. This is we've seen the evidence on the casings, the writing on the casings. He was living with his transgender partner. It's and his family. I mean, family members have come forward to say that they hated Charlie Kirk, and but they are desperate to make him what's, I guess, this groper, and which is like, a right-wing person who thinks Charlie Kirk wasn't right-wing enough. I mean, it's just insane, the pretzels they're twisting themselves into. But it's wrong. It's absolutely wrong. And they see nothing wrong with bad reporting on this.
Well, it's interesting, Julie. The indictment comes out tomorrow. Okay, President Trump everyone was looking at the President of the United States for what, the reaction ought to be. And when the President of the United States comes within a couple of hours saying a radical leftist did this, he is the chief law enforcement officer in this country. He might know a thing or two about what's coming down the pipe in the indictment. He does have like a pipeline to what might be in there. So I think he's going to be proven correctly that this guy had been radicalized, either by his school or by online gaming platforms or by his roommate. And the other thing, Julie, is that what they're trying to do is like, let's just never mind that they were, in a homosexual relationship or that their partner may or may not have been transitioning. He's cooperative. He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just 100% cooperative. Yeah, it must mean that he had nothing to do with it. I mean, the indictment will explain a lot of this.
Yeah.
And
But it's such a great point, David, to say, well, the president can't say that. The New York Times hasn't reported it yet. Maybe the president, can pick up the phone and get some more information from the FBI. Speaking of the New York Times, listen to this correction, David. I know you have a wall of fame there at Media Research Center for some of the best corrections. Here's the New York Times after they wrote an obituary of Charlie Kirk. An earlier version of this article described incorrectly an anti-Semitic statement that Charlie Kirk had made on an episode of his podcast. He was quoting a statement from a post on social media and went on to critique it. It was not his own statement. So even in the correction, by the way, they claim Charlie Kirk made the anti-Semitic statement, but he didn't. He was quoting someone else's anti-Semitism that he then went on to criticize.
That's right. It's almost as bad as Jamil Hill. Almost.
Yeah.
I mean, good thing that these guys don't employ her anymore. She's out there on her YouTube channel calling Charlie a white supremacist over the weekend, who said, quote, his entire purpose in life was to discriminate against people who were not straight white Christian men. I mean, she was the lead opinion gal at ESPN for the longest time.
That's right.
You just can't get more worse than that. I mean, the other one of the more egregious examples is when Robert Pape, this professor from the University of Chicago, somehow trying to. Julie, you mentioned the pretzels that they put themselves in.
Yeah.
Somehow suggesting that over 39% of Democrats say that, quote, use of force is justified to remove the President Trump from the presidency. And that's somehow equating to 24% of Republicans who believe President Trump is justified using the U.S. military to stop protests against the Trump agenda. I mean, come on. I mean, we're not even playing the same sport, let alone being in the same ballpark. So it's just silly that CBS would go down that path.
David Bozell is our guest, Media Research Center. One last thing here, David. I've been making the point the last several days that, there's something that happens in the media and that I'm calling the othering of conservatives, the dehumanization of conservatives. President Trump won the presidency running away with the majority of American voters supporting him. And Republicans who support Donald Trump now control the House and the Senate. And Republican governors who support Donald Trump are the majority of the governors in this country. So by any measure, we are the dominant political voice in America right now. We have won. Every time the American people have a chance to vote, they vote for us. And yet, when you watch the Sunday shows on the networks, ABC, NBC, CBS, I think ABC has Reince Priebus, one person on the payroll who is a pro-Trump Republican. NBC, CBS, you never hear our point of view and our perspective relayed in their roundtable discussions. They have marginalized us and put us, they've ghettoized our voices, as if the message that's sent is that our ideas are not meant for polite conversation on these shows. Yeah,
Larry, I saw your post over the weekend about that. You're absolutely right. Now, this weekend was a little bit different because Governor Cox had made the rounds. So
no. As a guest, I'm talking about why don't they put a Charlie Kirk on the payroll? Why don't they hire David Bozell to be one of their analysts? Why don't they hire a Julie Gunlock or a Patrice Onwuka to be a paid analyst? They would never do that.
Right. I mean, so just to your point, Meet the Press, Peter Baker, left wing, Jeffrey Goldberg, left wing, Kimberly Atkins Store, left wing, conservative representation, Sarah Fagan. That was on Meet the Press yesterday. 3-1. 3-1, liberal over conservative. Yeah. ABC this week had two, Donna Brazil, Alex Burns versus the aforementioned Reince Priebus. So
and then CNN, when they have a conservative, it's Alyssa Farrar or Jonah Goldberg. I mean, give me a break.
Yeah, right? And on NBC, it's Stephen Hayes. They're Trump-hating conservatives. It's part of what contributes to the dehumanization. It makes it, and again, I'm not saying that's why Charlie Kirk got assassinated. What I'm saying is it adds to the cultural impact that we are not to be listened to or tolerated. We got to leave it there, sadly. David, as you know, we can go on forever with you and talk forever. Always good to have you. Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate it, guys.
The great stuff done over at Media Research Center cannot be overstated.